Welcome back to Play On Gamers with my partner in crime and one of my best friends, Ben Silverman. Ben, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Doing
Cool.
well. Just got done Spanish class, so now I'm ready for some video games.
Yeah. It's like getting done school. It's like
It is.
Yeah.
It's always a long night for us too.
Yes. Always 9:30 and always attempting to be 90 minutes and going for way over that.
Yeah, we always say we're going to go a little shorter this time, and then we go 2.5 hours talking about whatever the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. But that's how you know you're having fun when time flies by. All right, we actually do have a pretty interesting episode. Last time I feel like it's a little hard to top the last one because of all the excitement we had with Xbox and Bethesda, and there was just so much momentum, so much to talk about. We still have a lot to talk about, but I don't think, like you said before we started, right, it's not going to be as trailer heavy, and most likely, more conversational this time. Let's get started. Let's get right into it. So this one is directed right at you because this is actually your prediction. And I love that it happened like literally like days after you predicted it as well.
The day after,
yeah. Which is kind of perfect. And this is coming from an article on The Verge that Xbox has announced that they are going to be working on a TV app for streaming gaming. This is a pretty big deal. Obviously, you brought this up as an option. It's going to be probably available to most people to some degree. I don't know if everybody's gonna be aware of it at first, but this is kind of going to bridge that gap for those who do not have the hardware to support gaming. With stream gaming becoming so popular as it is today and powerful, and especially a lot of these TVs, not all of them are even connected wirelessly. A lot of people like to plug in direct so you can have that nice clean connection. This is a pretty big deal, Ben, especially competing with Google. What do you think?
Yeah, no, for sure. And, I predicted, I think a lot of other people predicted this as well, but you could see where this was going. They've invested so much in this Game Pass Ultimate streaming architecture. They weren't just going to limit it to their consoles. The ultimate goal is to get Game Pass everywhere, every console, every device, every TV. Having it built into TVs is just a logical next step.
Yeah. No, it makes a ton of sense. And a lot of these TVs are pretty powerful, right? They have their own operating system. They have the power at least to handle something like this. And then, obviously they marry and couple that with their controller, which is obviously kind of like an industry standard at this point. Right. Why would you buy anything else but a Xbox controller, especially if you're a PC gamer?
And you don't even need an Xbox controller. You can play xCloud with a PlayStation controller on a tablet.
I was literally about to say that too. I was like,
sorry.
Xbox. No, you're fine. Xbox and PlayStation. Well, you said it better. Xbox and PlayStation, those are the standard for controllers. Like Stadia made their controller, but it's really a cheap POS in comparison. Not that it's horrible, but it's obviously not, anything compared. And right now, again, you get that little Xbox logo. I think that's kind of what they want to see.
Game Pass on everything. And you don't need that much. I mean, you have Netflix, you have Plex apps. All you need is an app on a TV that can display an image and transmit very minimal data with low latency. I think every smart TV is capable of doing this right now, and you see it to some extent. The Apple TV has games.
Yep.
All these TVs, they've had games for years and years and years. It's just a matter of getting the right partnerships in place. And I'm still saying it's going to be Samsung. It's going to be the first one.
I think that's an excellent prediction. It makes a lot of sense. Actually, it'd be Samsung as well. And it's interesting to think about like what kind of holds back a lot of these platforms and in general, any new platform. And I mentioned this, I was going to play Kingdom Rush, not Kingdom Rush, sorry, Kingdom Rush Legends. So that game is an Apple Arcade exclusive, which really pisses me off because I don't want to pay $5 a month. So I'm not going to be playing that game right now, maybe down the line. But, you think about a game that'll get people playing this. I mean, we talked about Halo last time. Halo is going free to play in multiplayer. You all of a sudden you make some kind of large announcement. Halo multiplayer available through your TV streaming. I mean, you talk about getting people on that, I guess, the TV platform on that app. That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, and they also, I mean, around the same time they announced that xCloud's coming to everyone through the browser. So Windows, iOS devices, and in addition, I don't have the news article handy, but I don't know why this came as a surprise, but it did to me that they're going to be making Xbox Series X and Series S games available to Xbox One owners using the cloud. So all these Xbox One owners that can't get their hands on a Series X and want to play Starfield, they can do it from right on their console. It's not out yet, but being able to buy Series X games and play them on your last gen console, that's just awesome.
Yeah. And I can see people maybe being a little like, oh, well, why would you buy a new console then? Because you're not going to get the premium experience of all these games unless you do, right? Like if you want the ray tracing, 4K HDR, ultimate experience, I guess for the hardcore gamers like ourselves, we're still going to want either a gaming PC like yourself or the console, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, the best experience about that. It cares about a Game Pass subscription.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, right? And that Game Pass thing, it's going to be such a tempting and like lucrative thing for the end user, right? Like that purchase of having that, it's just going to be a really easy entryway into being a gamer. And I think that's what Microsoft is kind of showing. And what I really want to see is how PlayStation responds to this. They didn't do an E3 showing, right? And we're going to talk about this. Clearly, PlayStation is working on something. They're very good at the mystery game, at kind of responding and kind of setting things up that very much appeals to gamers. So Microsoft's always been great at services, right? They're also the American company. They're very good at services and software, but PlayStation's very good at games. So I'm very interested to see how PlayStation responds because they have to be working on something, which, again, I don't expect it to take away from Game Pass, but they'll have some kind of response where it'll make you at least feel proud to be a gamer.
I think they have to eventually. They cannot let Microsoft continue to just hammer away at them.
Yes.
And sit back and say, hey, we've got the Uncharted, we've got The Last of Us. Like, that's not going to be enough eventually. Right now it is. And they're still winning, but they've got to stop the bleeding that Phil Spencer and Xbox is causing.
Yeah,
because they're once the Bethesda machine starts churning out these exclusives.
Yeah, and they're coming. These exclusives are coming.
You're gonna start looking at 5-6 games exclusive from these AAA Bethesda ZeniMax studios coming. That are not coming to PlayStation, no matter what the PlayStation fanboys seem to still believe.
Yeah,
they're not coming.
I agree. I definitely agree, and I think people have to get over that. And again, if you're a PlayStation gamer, you pride yourself on having PlayStation exclusives, so don't get upset when the other side does it. I mean, like, that's the way I see it. It's like that's the game we're playing. At least you have PC gaming. Like, you get a PC, do what we do, right? PC and console. I mean, I know it's a lot easier said than done, but PC gaming, quite frankly, still is the future. We kind of, it's always kind of being put off. But at the end of the day, it's like PC gaming is just, without cryptocurrency destroying the marketplace at this point, like, it probably would be more dominant, if it wasn't for that.
And things are going to the cloud. So I mentioned I had Spanish class right before this, and I got started a little late today for child and Taco Bell related reasons, but
both obviously related.
Yeah, no, I mean Taco, and DoorDash shit the bed. But when I got to him, he said that he was watching YouTube videos of this Elder Scrolls game. I'm like, oh, Skyrim? And he's like, yeah, Skyrim. And he's like, how do I play this? Like, this is legit. This just happened like an hour ago. Funny. And I'm like, yeah, you have a gaming PC? He doesn't have a gaming PC. I'm like, I got the perfect thing for you. I sent him the Game Pass link. I'm like, for $1, you can try out hundreds and hundreds of games for a month. And then it's just $10 a month after that. And you have access to every Elder Scrolls game, Fallout game, hundreds of games that are awesome that you do not need a gaming PC for, because he's got a decent internet connection. And he's like, it's just, and he understands technology pretty decently. So he understood the concept behind how it's doing what it's doing. And he'd never heard of it, and he's signing up. So that those are the kind of people you're going to get, are the ones that, see a game, don't want to invest or can invest in a gaming PC, and they're one click away from playing Skyrim.
And I'm I'm listening because I don't read because I'm a child, but I'm listening through a book about products. I'm a product developer, but I'm listening to a book about product, and they talk about that actually recently in the chapter I just finished, where once you have a habit forming product, right? So once you get on Game Pass and you pay that, that's why they have that dollar, right? That dollar initial pay, because once you're on it and you get used to it, that $10 you spend a month, you will the likelihood of you spending it is much higher. Like you'll be like, all right, well, it's part of my life and that's it. You know?
Or
You
or
add it
you
to your
just
budget.
forget and it charges you and you're like, all right, well,
But
it charged me, so I got my month.
absolutely. But even the likelihood of you canceling after it becomes part of your lifestyle. Like for instance, I used to not pay for Spotify, right?
Yep.
Then I started paying for Spotify. And I was like, okay, I could have canceled it. It's like not even in my thought process anymore. I'm like, well, I can't go back to commercials, right? It's like you kind of rationalize it in your brain. So all they have to do is get you on there once, and that's really what Sony needs to respond to. Otherwise, I will say this: when I bought my PS5, they gave me a bunch of free games. I have a humongous library from PS Plus that I picked over the years, so I do have like 200 games from Sony to play.
Yeah.
But
well, when Uncharted 5 comes out, you think they're going to give that to you for free? There's a 0.0% chance of them doing that. But when the next Gears comes out, when Halo comes out, when the next Elder Scrolls comes out, you're getting them day one for free. But if you have Game Pass,
it's not free though. That's the one thing.
Not free.
You are collecting money. You're collecting money, correct? What they need to do is restructure their PlayStation Plus package if they really want to. If they want to compete, they have to increase the price of that. You know what I mean? I've said it for a while though. If they charged me double and they included the stream gaming, I would pay for it. You know, the PS Now or whatever. They don't do that though. So they have to come up with something though. They're not doing Uncharted for free. There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. All right. Let's move on. Even though this is going to be a topic of conversation probably over the next few months several times. Maybe we won't hear about it for a little bit, but as we either get to the end of the summer or probably around the holidays, you got to figure they're going to start pushing Game Pass hard, you know, like as Christmas packages, right? Just like, here's a Christmas present, Game Pass, buy your kid 1,000 games for $10 a month.
We'll start including it with the Series S.
Yep.
For $299 or whatever, Series S, a year Game Pass. Yeah,
that's really interesting. Actually, we were just talking about it. Just make me think when you're talking about a Samsung partner. Let's just say it's Samsung, right? And they have a Samsung partnership. I mean, you could put a little Xbox logo on the box.
Yep. Buy this TV, 3 months. It comes with a controller. Yeah.
Yep. Oh my God, you can create that whole idea with Best Buy, where you get the free controller. The controller's what, $50? They did that with the Echoes, right? I bought this TV behind me, or no, the one downstairs, the 75-inch. But I bought that. They gave me a free Echo, right? You know, I wanted to get bigger. I wish I bought 85. I'm stupid, wasting my money. But yeah, no, absolutely. But it's all of a sudden right out the box, and then all of a sudden you're a very casual gamer. You don't have a console. Maybe you were thinking about buying a console. Like, oh, I don't even need to buy one, right? I mean, it's just interesting. Yeah. It's really interesting stuff.
It's going to evolve. I don't think it's going to be next year. I think they're going to announce something big this year.
And Sony has their own TVs, right? And actually, I only own Sony TVs, and I love them. And they have a really good operating system on there that, ironically, they work with Google. So I wonder if I doubt they're going to partner with Google on cloud gaming, right? They bought Gaikai for a reason.
Google's not going to partner with them.
No way. But they're going to try to get their app on the TV though.
So and coincidentally enough, Sony uses Microsoft Azure for the back end of their PS Now.
That's a great
point. Yeah, they weirdly enough, Microsoft is providing the cloud network for Sony's streaming platform.
So no matter what, they're making money. Oh, man. Yeah,
they're making money on both ends.
Yeah, Microsoft. If you own Microsoft stock, you should be excited because they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. And this is off topic, but they do have we're talking about at work because partially we have to deal with it now. But Microsoft is moving on from Windows 10, which was not expected.
Windows 11.
Yep, Windows 11 is already leaked to some degree.
Yeah, it's leaked. I mean, I have an ISO of it. I haven't installed it, but I mean, we're dealing with it at work a lot. Also, because the latest Windows 10 patch fucked up my KVM switches. But they're end of life in Windows 10, but not till 2025.
Right. But
So,
what? But
I
you have to
mean,
ask yourself why. It can't be just a skin redesign.
no, from what I understand, there are significant performance boosts, but I'll wait till the final version's out. I don't
Yeah.
want to run benchmarks off of. But
I
I
did.
hear the leak is pretty stable.
Yeah. Who's? Oh man, what's his name? It's that tech guy, Liam Tech, Linus. Linus
Linus
Tech.
Tech Tips,
Yeah.
yeah,
I watched a video of him going through. He's great, actually. I watched a video
yeah.
of him going through it. It was obviously really wonky for him, but he was doing. He like was running Red Dead on it. It looked
I mean, it's
pretty.
clearly a beta, but it's also Windows 10. It's as much how Windows, ME was Windows 2000 basically, but it's or
Yeah.
2000 was ME. I don't know.
Okay. All right, we're getting off topic, but all right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to more games. And this is a. We're getting this one's gonna take a little bit to unpack, but
Dude.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about this because this is going to be a big topic of conversation. And again, I think this is what, we were talking about. PlayStation's working on something. I think this is related to that. I don't really believe in coincidences, especially like this. I mean, I believe in coincidence, but not like this. So Blue Box Studios and a game called Abandon was shown off. There's a lot of, let's just say, fuckery afoot with his game. And so this game's being shown off, and there seems to be an endless amount of hints that hint to Kojima in many ways, and they seem to be kind of endless. There's a PlayStation logo thing. I'll let you go through everything, Ben, but PlayStation logo, name recognitions, tiebacks to properties from several years in the past.
All right.
Ben, why don't you go through it, and I'll comment as you go through it since you did all the research to pull this doc together.
All right. So I have a lot of different sources for where I pulled this information from, but I'm going to play a trailer for a game that's called Abandon. So let me mute this so that we don't get copyright struck. So about a couple weeks ago, this game shows up on the PlayStation blog, gets an announcement, gets a trailer shown from Blue Box Studios, a studio that nobody's ever heard of, but Sony is putting out a press release about this game. It's some sort of horror game from a studio in the Netherlands. And let me get to my document because I have all of my
there's a lot of
all my stuff here. Yeah, so you've got this game going around. So this game, survival horror type game from a studio nobody's ever heard of, with a logo that's shockingly similar to the PlayStation logo. The Blue Box Studios, as far as anybody can tell, has a singular employee, and his name is Hasan Karaman. It's a Turkish name, and everything that you can find about him says he's a Turkish game developer.
But nobody knows him.
Nobody knows him. Nobody's come out and be like, hey, this is a real dude.
Right.
So Hasan Karaman, Karaman, initials are H and K, like Hideo Kojima. He has managed to get Sony to release a app on their PlayStation Store in a couple days. Now, this app is going to be running the demo or the trailer in real time on the PlayStation. So it's like a playable teaser of the game running on the hardware in real time, not just playing a video. So a studio nobody's ever heard of has convinced Sony to put an app on the App Store for free to do this kind of rendering that nobody's ever done before. They're pioneering a new way of showing a trailer. Okay.
And
cool.
So should we mention the PT element of what you just said?
We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get the PT. So
playable trailer.
When you translate Hideo into English, it means hero. From Hideo from Japanese means hero. If you translate Hasan from Turkish into English, it means hero. So basically translating Hasan to Japanese is Hideo. Okay. So
Keep them going.
All right. So Mr. Hassan has done one app before in 2015, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it. It's called GoFit XL. I got it on the screen here by Hassan Karaman, designed for the iPad. It's got like 4,000 reviews right now because now everyone's reviewing it. But if you look here at the description of this app, it says GoFit fitness app, activity and exercise programs, personal training, PT programs. Obviously, like playable teaser, which was supposed to be the Silent Hills game that Konami was making with Hideo Kojima. So let's just stop there for a second. Clearly, Hideo Kojima is making something, right?
Without a doubt.
Okay. So, and I haven't even gotten down the deep dive of Pepe Silvia.
Right. Everybody's using that meme to be you know what I mean, to represent this. This is insane. Yeah. This is like QAnon shit.
Dude, it's nuts. All right. So let me jump back to this trailer real quick. And I'm going to go to 49 seconds in this trailer. I can't zoom in on it, but if you look at what you're seeing right here, at 49 seconds, there is a tree branch blocking writing on the wall. It says kill the trespassers. The only two letters that are blocked by this tree branch are PT. All right. So if that wasn't enough, let's take a look at the logo for this studio that definitely exists, shall we? So, sorry, I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Yariv, do you have it on your screen?
No, I can't see what you're seeing.
Okay, so I think the link's in the doc, but
yep,
this is the studio. This is the logo for Blue Box Studios. Let me know when you've got it pulled up, because I'm noticing some similarities here.
Why can't I find it?
Here, it's
oh, here we go.
Let me know you're looking at it.
We got a big deck here of stuff. So
yeah, we got a lot to talk about here.
Okay.
So you got PlayStation Studios on the left and Blue Box Game Studios on the right.
20
same font
followers online too.
It's the same font. It's basically the PlayStation logo inverted. The box is the same size. Everything's the same size. In the trailer, they said that the name Blue Box Studios is copywritten, but nobody can find any record of a copyright for Blue Box Studios anywhere on the internet. All right. Moving down the line, we let's see. Let me get to where's my other box. We literally have a picture of Hideo Kojima holding up a blue box on Instagram a week ago.
Yeah.
With blue glasses. So Blue Box Studios tweets out a bunch of stuff, and they tweet at very odd hours. Usually it's 3:00 in the morning in the Netherlands, but it's shockingly around work hours in Japan.
Japan, yeah. It's just amazing. I feel like that's where they screwed up potentially, even like that's a blunder.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think this is all intentional. I don't think they're trying to hide what they're doing, but
no, it's brilliant.
Let me get on Blue Box Studios Twitter.
They have 27,000 followers already.
So yeah, talking about their followers, Jeff Keighley has been following them for quite a while.
Of course.
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason, because I'm sure he's not involved in any way at this point. Props to them for keeping this hidden for all these years.
So so before we go any further down this rabbit hole, if you remember back when Metal Gear Solid 5 was announced, there was a trailer for a game by Moby Dick Studios. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do.
Moby Dick Studios, and it was when the Phantom Pain, it was just called the Phantom Pain, was what this trailer they showed. And everyone on the internet kind of found out within like an hour that it was Metal Gear Solid because of the way that the logo was, the letters Metal Gear Solid fit in between it. So this is not an unusual thing that Kojima would be doing.
No.
It's definitely a long game. Now, it started in 2015 because a lot of
It's
these
crazy.
things.
It's 6 years ago at this
It's
point.
6 years ago. Now it's a long con. I still believe that he's doing it.
It's definitely
because
because he's
it's
insane, and this is something
it's
he would think to do.
it's basically a year to the day after he left Konami is when all this started. All right, so in 2015, Blue Box Studio released a game, although there's no record of the game actually being available to the public. It's listed on their site. The game is called The Lost Tapes. The soundtrack to Metal Gear Solid 5 is called The Lost Tapes, both released in 2015, same year. In the Death Stranding director's cut trailer, Sam, the main character, had a flag of the Netherlands on his back.
Just randomly, of course.
Yeah, why? Oh, that's right. Blue Box Studios is in the Netherlands, allegedly. Yeah, so I mean, this goes on and on. Jeff Keighley's following the studio. They put a tweet up. Let me read this tweet, or put this tweet up on the screen here, because this is insane. So, in the description for this game, next gen graphics, 4K 60, no HUD, manual ammo check, realistic cinematic survival, snowflakes of blood is the last feature. Okay. So why is that important? In 2014, a 10-second video went up teasing what was later found out to be PT, playable teasers, Silent Hills.
Right.
And all it was snowflakes of blood going across the screen. This trailer.
Did you play PT back in the day?
I did not.
I did. I should have sold that PS4. I'm telling you, it was going for like $1,500 if you had it installed on there.
So these are the snowflakes of blood they're looking at right now. Why would you list that as a feature?
Because you want to make this as obvious as possible.
Okay.
Breadcrumbs.
So, with all that said,
I'm going to follow them right now, actually.
So, if this is not Hideo Kojima doing some kind of Silent Hills game, what is going to happen to the studio? Because they've been kind of leaning into this. They've been teasing this.
Yeah.
They tweeted out the other. Oh wait. Looks like they have somebody named. They have a quick message from Hassan. What time is it in the Netherlands?
I don't know. You have to look it up.
4 a.m. Why is he tweeting out an image from a video from Hassan?
This is Hassan from. Just wanted to do a really quick video.
This is absolutely a mind game.
Dude, this is not I don't know who this is.
I don't know either.
It's not the real person.
We wanted to answer 5 hours ago. We wanted to answer the rumors one last time. We're a small indie studio with actual real people.
That's what people tweet out at 11 p.m. local time.
Yeah, we're working on a passionate game. We want to do a live stream Q&A and where you can ask us all your questions and clarify the confusion and rumors. We just want to set expectations. Yet, having said that, they didn't say anything about, hey, we're not dealing with Kojima. This is not. They did not dispel any of that.
They did say that earlier.
Why not in this tweet?
I don't know, but if you look at their pinned tweet, it says, we want to set things straight. We have no relations with Konami. Silent Hill is owned by Konami.
But that's
we
different.
do not have any relations to Hideo Kojima. It was never our intention to tease the name as Silent Hill. We sincerely apologize for this. The game's called Silent Hills, first of all, so I don't believe you lying sacks of shit.
I'm not gonna lie, the level of confusion that this has caused, that is what tells me that this is real, then,
dude. Because they're definitely doing it.
They're definitely doing. In my opinion, this is Kojima. He has no problem lying.
I got boxes of Pepe Silvia. Boxes of Pepe Silvia.
I got boxes of Pepe.
Boxes of Pepe.
But no, but like realistically, like look at the buzz that this has created already. He is a genius at this. Lying to us is not an issue. I don't know why it would be an issue.
No.
This is the rabbit hole he wants us to go down. I'm not even a Kojima fan to this level. I mean, I like his games. You know, I didn't play Death Stranding, which I still want to actually, but this isn't the type of scenario where it's going to hurt the property. This is going to help them significantly. Even where I kind of disagree with a lot of people who are like, oh, you can't find these consoles. People are pissed. That's bullshit. People are in love with the hunt. So just like the consoles, people have no problem. Every single one that shows up on the shelves is gone. They don't have a problem. It's about the hunger, the game. This is a scenario that clearly was created. There are too many coincidences here, just way too many, one after the next. If they are leaning into this, I was listening to Sacred Symbols before this, they were saying it's going to destroy that studio. I completely agree. There's no way you would survive something like this.
No,
it's just too many coincidences. Way too many coincidences. And at this point, it just reeks of that behavior all over again. And look, I'm not even excited for this game. I don't play horror games. I don't care about horror, right? I like thriller games within it, a little bit of horror in my games, but not like full horror. And I'm paying attention to it now. It's
exactly
effective. How could it not be them? And I think this ties into what Sony is doing, right? Everybody was talking about Microsoft, and all of a sudden, here's a little thing here. And there was something mentioned. I don't have anything about this, but I did hear about this on Sacred Symbols, and I ignorantly forgot to look into it. But there is some kind of marriage here going on with Konami and PlayStation where they're trying to mend some wounds there as well, from what I understand. So it's it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Konami was a big player in the video game space for a long time. And the last, 8 years, they've been irrelevant since Metal Gear Solid came out. That's the last time.
And they have to see gaming exploding under COVID as well, right? I know they still do pachinko machines and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got their gambling stuff, but I mean, if they're not going to do anything with their properties, they need to sell them off.
Or they partner. Or they collect.
Or they partner, or they license their shit out to one of the big players.
Exclusively a PlayStation, right? That's how they combat Bethesda. And
I didn't hear
Sony
anything about
Konami.
this, but yeah. I would think they want to get back into gaming. If they didn't, they would have sold their shit a long time ago.
Yeah. And they did release a game using his engine afterwards, right? They made a zombie version, a zombie mode inside of Phantom Pain.
Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, which I'm sure wasn't very good. And I know he didn't like that. But again, if he's not the one dealing with Konami, right? And they let Sony, he lets PlayStation kind of deal with it, right? It's the brand. And they just let him do what he wants, and they deal with the relationship with Konami. I mean, it's a great way to get around that, right? Because PlayStation they don't care. They're not angry at Konami. You know what I mean? It's a business, and they're like, we want the properties. And it's also Castlevania, right? It's not just Metal Gear. It's also Castlevania out there, which, by the way, is a successful TV show on Netflix. You know what I mean? So there's money to be made there. And PlayStation could use some of these big name properties, but this story is absolutely incredible. Aren't we supposed to? We're supposed to find out soon, though, right?
Well, they were supposed to release this demo, and then they delayed it, and now they want to do some Q&A to try and lie to us some more. Yeah, I guess this fake Hassan is going to come on and feed us some more bullshit.
There's too many coincidences. Unless they're doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? There's too many coincidences.
Yeah, I don't believe this guy. Why is he on a gray background? Show us show us the Netherlands. Why are you talking in front of some gray wall? No, go stand outside in front of some landmark.
Even Abandoned Alone, the name of Abandoned, the game reeks of a survival horror game.
Or more literally, how he was treated by Konami.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, why would he want to say, oh, this has nothing to do with, I mean, maybe it's not Silent Hills.
No.
Right? It doesn't have to be anything. It just could be a game.
Yeah.
It could just be a game. It doesn't need, when I thought of PT, I know it's Silent Hills, right? But I don't, you don't think about PT as a Silent Hills game. You just think of it as
was.
Right. Yeah. It never got to be. And he's still working with Guillermo del Toro, right?
Mm-hmm.
He worked with him in oh my God, why is the name escaping me?
Death Stranding,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta figure there, yeah. And
Norman Reedus was supposed to be in the Silent Hills game. So
that's a great point. There's just too many coincidences. I love that
too much here.
Yeah. So what do you think?
They're liars.
Yeah. I love the way you just said it. And they're liars.
They're straight up lying.
Well, didn't they say, if I remember, because it's been a while, but didn't they say that that trailer for Phantom Pain wasn't the Phantom Pain? Like they said that it wasn't Metal Gear.
They're like, no, this is
it's not.
This is Moby Dick Studios. Like Metal Gear doesn't have like whales in it and all this weird shit. Like they straight up tried to lie, and the internet's like, no. We got exactly the logo.
What's happening. But he wants that. He wants us to dig into the story that he's creating. Like that and I could see him doing this. Like it could have been an idea that he had several years ago, right? And he's like, oh, now I can do it. Right now I have now we can do it. Maybe they've been building the game for a couple of years already. You know what I mean? And just slowly, let's do this. Oh, let's come up with a name. Let's come up with a studio. We'll do it and then we'll release it. Like, why not? It's not that crazy to do. You know what I mean? If you build it into he would do that. He would build it into his game. You know what I mean? Wasn't there something?
I'm just reading some more of this bullshit they're
yeah. Well, wasn't there something? Go ahead. No, please read it.
We wanted to answer these rumors one last time. Yeah, like this is the last time you guys are going to have to answer rumors. We're a small indie studio with actual people working on patching game. Where's the we? Why are we just looking at one dude? Where's the rest of your team? You liars.
This is probably like one of their employees.
No, this is some random dude.
Yeah. They paid him on Fiverr.
Yeah, they Googled somebody. We need somebody with the name Hassan.
And you have to look like a Hassan. Potentially, man. Look, it's literally followed by a bunch of people in the industry. They're up to 27,000 followers. Pretty much like overnight. You know what I mean? Like, come on. They're an exclusive studio with no games, and you get a partnership with Sony with no success. Like, give me a break. Like, it's so difficult to even get a job with Sony, let alone become an exclusive studio with nothing in your history to prove it.
That's getting like the VIP treatment on their site and on their store, and apparently not getting sued over their stolen logo. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's pretty brilliant, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they're brilliant liars.
And brilliant liars. Oh, man. I'm not going to lie. It makes me want to play this game. I hope the game is good because they're generating a lot of buzz, right? It would be awesome if Sony was building like some kind of state of play that, maybe this will be the highlight around it, but maybe they'll have other highlights. Like they need to respond to what happened during E3. I mean, they obviously sat out, but they need to respond. They're taking
supposed
punches.
To be soon. I think they're supposed to be doing something.
They have to be. It's a summertime.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they said they were going to be a partner of the Summer of Gaming with Jeff.
Okay.
So
again, you got how many properties? I think they said they're working on 21 games right now that they are unannounced. And I think half of them are new properties. So this would be one.
They need to start announcing.
Yeah, they're getting their butts kicked publicly to some degree. Having said that, it's not affecting their sales. So they can take their time.
No.
For now. But we talked about it before. I mean, Game Pass is a scary opposition to them. I was kind of a little in denial about it because, I mean, I don't have Game Pass, right? But, you start seeing all the titles on there. Like, I was going through it again, Ben. And, like, even, like, Age of Empires, like, oh, am I going to pre-order Age of Empires? I was like, no. I was like, I'm going to get Game Pass. Like, why would I pre-order? I was like, because I'm going to get Halo as well. Though I kind of said I was wrong, but there is a risk that Halo is going to get delayed, right? They didn't provide a date.
What? Yeah, I don't know. Why even say anything?
Because they're terrified that they're going to let people down again. The one thing I thought is maybe it's like corporate versus the studio itself, where the studio is like, we, hey, don't throw us under the bus here. We might not be ready. And we'll talk about this in the Nintendo section. But I mean, like Nintendo obviously made, what's his name? I want to say Miyamoto. Oh my God, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. It's escaping me. The director of Breath of the Wild.
I don't know who does it.
Nomura.
Nomura, okay.
So, you got to figure they're putting pressure on them. Hey, we got to get this game out. It's been 5 years on the same engine. And they're like, 2022, maybe.
I don't think that Halo will get delayed. I just don't.
I don't think it should. But if we get a beta open for the public on the...
We will, but I think the multiplayer is done. I think the multiplayer is done. I think it's been done.
But they're not going to release them separately, right? We talked about this,
They could have, but not after standing on stage and saying that they were coming together.
They said holiday.
They said they're both coming together in holiday.
Well, why would they give a date for... Well, actually, I actually do understand this. So Starfield gets a date, which is way down the line, then Halo does not. My thought is those are two separate studios. That's it. That you have Bethesda. So remnants of Bethesda. Bethesda felt comfortable putting a date. 343 did not. That's how I saw it. Right? Like, it's like you can bully people into doing stuff, but it's the job of the studio heads as well to fight back and be like, well, we're going to tell you holiday. Because that could be...
Yeah, there's got to be something weird going on there that we're just not privy to.
Well, because couldn't holiday also mean Thanksgiving?
It does.
Right? But it could also mean Christmas. So that gives you another month.
Holiday is October to the end of the year.
Exactly. So you figure you have like 2-month window there where they're like, all right, well, we might need a 2-month scramble.
If Halo comes out this year, it's coming out at the end of December.
It has to come out before Christmas, though, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, maybe like
what are you going to pre-order it for your kids? Well, I guess Game Pass kind of changes that.
You still got to download it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It has to be out before December 25th. It's got to be out like early December. Like second week of December is like the latest. Otherwise, they miss that window.
Who knows what the fuck?
Who knows? All right.
All I know is that Blue Box Studios is filled with liars.
Liars. Oh,
Hassan, whoever you are, we're coming for you.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous that they would put up a video saying, "Oh, we're no associate." Literally, you have the same name.
Yeah, fake Hassan. Don't worry.
It's unbelievable.
Let's see what the comment section.
It's unbelievable that they're still lying about it too. You got to give them the chutzpah. I use a little Jewish terminology there to do that. Dude, their followers literally have been going up by the second. I literally am watching their followers just consistently go up and up and up. Every time I refresh, they get more followers. It is a brilliant marketing strategy. Absolutely brilliant. So I just can't see it. I just can't see it not being the case. Like this video he made, how long? It was published an hour ago. It already has 103,000 views.
Yep.
And literally completely unnamed. Where's the studio behind you? Where's your computer? Why are you doing it against a gray background? Like you said, like...
Why are you such a liar?
Yeah, why? Reading from a script. All right.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to other stuff, even though this is probably some of the most interesting conversation of the night. But we'll have updates on that. We'll hopefully next episode we have some kind of clarity on it.
Yeah, I'm sure everything will become clear.
Oh, yeah, right. They're gonna milk this for a while, but at least maybe we'll have something. All right, let's move on. We'll talk about Capcom a little bit. We'll talk about it very briefly because I didn't really care that much about Capcom's new.
I think Capcom's gonna be pretty quick because did you play Resident Evil Village?
I have not yet. I do want to play it.
Okay.
I do want to play it. Waiting for the price on it to drop because I've been buying a ridiculous amount of games and not playing them. So I need to slow myself down. But Capcom, so Resident Evil Village DLC has begun development. They have not announced what it is. I do know the game is, I don't want to say short because I like games that are generally like 18 hours long. From what I understand, this game is about like 18 hours, 16 to 20 hours.
I thought it was later than that, but yeah.
It's potentially, yeah. I mean, I got to play it first. For me, it's probably 22 hours because I milk every game. And I take extremely long time to finish them. But they are releasing DLC. I think it's great news. And obviously the game has been very successful, so I'm not surprised that they're making DLC for it. And, I would like to see some, maybe some more expansion on that information, especially because it'll let me know if I should wait to play it or not. Like what kind of DLC is it going to be?
Probably some kind of VR mode.
Yeah, you got to figure. I
Interesting.
can't see. That's the problem with this type of game. Like, can I? I can't play this in VR. I am too much of a pussy. Like I can, but not for like 20 hours. Though Arizona Sunshine, I mean, I played a good amount. I never finished that game in the end. I was probably
Oh,
close.
really?
Yeah, but the
We played the hell out of it together.
it was so much fun. Well, I played the story mode, it was awesome, and like being in the tunnels with the flashlight.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah.
That is so cool, and it was freaky, but eventually you do get over it, you know.
Mhm.
And like I'll never forget that. That's why VR is so powerful. Like you do not forget those experiences when you have them. So I mean, it would be wise to do some kind of DLC content for VR. Just to mention this, and I think I told you about this, Ben. I don't know if you got to try it, but there's a beta version of the, I guess, like new streaming software, or I guess streaming update on the Oculus 2, where you can run your PC over the home Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You were using, what was the program you were using for it prior that you had me set up? Sidekick?
Virtual desktop.
Oh, virtual desktop. Oh, right. Never mind. That was a different software. You're right. So you're using virtual desktop to do this. Well, now it's pretty much built into the OS. And even in the beta version, it was extremely stable and it literally started up within seconds. So it is becoming a very impressive device. If you guys have not checked out the Quest or the Quest 2, this is probably the time. I actually saw the Quest 2 for $250 a couple days ago. If you figure that's going to be a $200 device, it's becoming really impressive. Once they get some of these larger properties, like if they can get like advertisements with the Village on there and like really start pushing a lot of these big properties that people know of, I think they'll be able to sell more of these content, more of these devices. And you did mention this to me the other day. We don't have this written here, and I'm going to go a little off topic, but that Facebook bought the studio that created Population One, right?
Yes.
Their big like Fortnite game. See, I don't think that they're going to do anything to Population One, but I think their next property will probably be exclusive. I think it'll be like that type of thing.
Okay. Like
that,
whatever. Do you think they just bought the studio?
Yeah, and that they're like, well, we want another game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's possible.
Yeah. Because how do you take a game that's already available to people? Like, how are you going to take it away from them? They paid for it.
I mean, it wouldn't be unprecedented, but yeah, you're right. I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, but for the future, that studio probably will not be making games for other platforms. To your point. All right, and let's move on to the second topic here for Monster Hunter Stories 2. Wings of Ruin was showed off, new story trailer and roadmap and updates. I don't play Monster Hunter. I was given it for free by PlayStation when I bought the PS5. I played a little bit of it. It does actually seem pretty cool. It does seem like honestly probably up both of our alleys to play. Maybe that's something we should play on the Switch together or something.
Or Monster Hunter World, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's what I played, Monster Hunter World, really.
Okay.
But again, super Japanese, but probably cool. I think it's just be aware of it. If you're interested and you listen to this, check it out. We don't have too much to say on it because we don't play Monster Hunter, so I don't want to start pretending like I know much about that game.
Okay.
All right.
Take 5 before we hit Nintendo.
Yep. Let's take we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to continue. We'll wrap up through Nintendo, which is pretty much the biggest portion of this show.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're back, and let's talk about the real meat and potatoes. We'll close on some Square Enix stuff, and if we have time, we'll get to what we're playing. All right, yeah, because we're obviously
if we have time.
over.
We never have time.
We never have time, but we're going to go over anyway. All right, so Nintendo. Now, Nintendo had a pretty impressive E3 showing. I've mentioned this on one of the previous podcasts. All of their properties do not do it for me. I follow Nintendo because of Legend of Zelda. I love a bunch of their other games. I own a Switch. I love my Switch. I love the company in general. But again, I think they hit the nail on the head in this conference the same way that Microsoft did, where they had something for everybody. And I think that is kind of key at these type of conferences, right? Is that they're not just appealing to me. They're not just appealing to you. They're appealing to people of all ages, kind of what Nintendo does best. So good slew of games. We don't have to go through everything. We'll talk about the stuff we're most interested in. But let's talk about the biggest disappointment. They mentioned it. Well, you know what? You're right. It's not a huge disappointment, but I think we were expecting to hear something and we didn't hear anything. And this was Bloomberg kind of had this prediction that production was going to start in July, so it's coming pretty quickly. Obviously,
For the Switch Pro we're talking
for the Switch Pro. I'm sorry, thank you. The Nintendo Switch Pro was supposed to start production in July, according to Bloomberg, but not a single mention of it at E3 by Nintendo. I would say it's a little surprising, but not incredibly surprising. And I mean, I think it doesn't make me think that the console's coming out for the holiday. I'll say that much. Let's start with that. What do you think, Ben?
So I never expected them to announce the Switch Pro, but I did expect to see some evidence of its existence, maybe in a game that clearly was not able to run on the Switch.
Yeah.
Or something that was nebulous, like coming to Nintendo systems or something like that.
Yeah.
Not an overt, like here's the Switch Pro, but yeah, nothing. Not a peep, not a hint. Even the Breath of the Wild sequel looked like it could have been running on a Switch. It didn't look that much better than the other one.
Looked practically the same, quite frankly.
We'll get to that trailer in a little bit. But,
which is honestly so. And I do want to talk about this. I don't want to skip around too much, but there was the whole rumor of Skyward Sword, Wind Waker coming out, and I brought this up. You're not going to put all of your eggs at once. Oh, Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword and Wind Waker, just release freaking everything. They're never going to do that. They're going to split stuff up in general, and they're going to keep trickling out Zelda products. Having said that, and we're going to go into Breath of the Wild, obviously too, but Skyward Sword is coming out. We're going to talk about that too, but I do think that there is like a plan here, right? Like they have these dates will probably be preset for us. I do still think like Wind Waker is coming, but I think it has to do a lot with the launch of probably a new console. Do you think we'll hear anything about it by the end of the summer?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we'll get a surprise direct at some point. I don't see it launching without I'm sorry, I don't see Breath of the Wild 2 or Breath of the whatever it's going to be launching without a Switch Pro.
I'm right there with you. So. And I think that might be why we didn't hear anything about the Switch Pro also, is because it was
maybe this got delayed.
I mean, it's such a success. It was such a successful launch to do Breath of the Wild with Switch. I don't think that they none of the other titles that were mentioned here are going to sell. I mean, unless it's like a Mario, a new Mario Kart, a new Smash, maybe a new Super Mario Brothers. It's really that, and then Zelda. That is what they have to launch a console with. So they're not going to launch it with. I guess they did that with the Wii U, but it wasn't successful, right? Like they had Wind Waker, right?
Right.
Like, in the beginning, but again, it wasn't a good idea. It didn't work. So I can't see them doing that again. I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. I expected some sort of evidence that it was a real thing. And we didn't get anything.
Do you think it has anything to do with the manufacturing issues?
I don't think so.
Because they don't like high priced items. Like they're not interested in giving everybody a $400 Pro.
Yeah, they're the only ones of all the manufacturers that actually make money on every piece of hardware sold.
Right.
The Xbox and PlayStation,
and they're still selling
loss leaders. Yeah,
they're still selling a ridiculous amount of these things. It's not like they're having an issue.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic. Yeah, I don't know. I assume we're going to hear something by the end of the year. I would bet on it, but
it is what it is.
This was the time. Yeah, I guess it's not going to be ready for a while.
I think also though, we mentioned this last episode that the C3 was kind of brought together last second. And I don't really think Nintendo's that interested in being rushed into releasing stuff. So maybe
I think in their mind, they may be done announcing things too early.
Yeah, and they're kind of just like, what's the rush? Like they might have had something at one point, and maybe that's what Bloomberg kind of saw an early preview of, and they're kind of like, was it?
Bloomberg's not going to report on. Yeah, his sources are good.
Yes. They are. He's very good at sources, but he's the one who pulled that tweet as well, that he wrote some kind of tweet that everybody kind of picked up on. And
Yeah, I mean, there could have been last minute changes to something, and like his information was good, and then there was a change of plans.
yeah,
And he was going to break embargo if he didn't pull it, so it's possible.
yeah, great point. All right, let's move on to okay. This is, in my opinion, the most exciting point of the show. We got a Breath of the Wild 2. That is a working title. We don't really know the name of this game, but we have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Are you pulling up the trailer here, Ben?
It's playing.
Okay, beautiful. So they came out. They gave us a pretty good trailer. Nothing. It wasn't very revealing in a lot of senses, but there's like hints at stuff that's coming. And then they gave us a release date of a questionable 2022. And I love the way they said it. We're going to try to get it out in 2022. And just anybody who's listening, this is the same engine as far as we're concerned. So that means, this is a sequel, a direct sequel. They haven't done that since Majora's Mask, essentially. Now, I thought this game would be out in about 4 years, and we're looking at 5 to 6 at this point if they delay it past 2022. Having said that, it looks quite ambitious. I mean, they took the land that we already have, and they're going up to the sky, and that's all they showed us so far. We don't even really know. Big element that I take away from this is probably some time travel involved in here, which is super
I'm rewinding
exciting.
it here. You can see there's clearly with these water droplets reversing and him zooming up through the floor or through the ground. It pans to a big overworld with a lot of, reminds me of Bioshock Infinite.
Well, and you know what, actually, I mean, and this is the one thing that I haven't seen mentioned anywhere. The Skyward Sword remaster, I mean, this is obviously aligns to this.
Yeah.
The drops from the sky, the mentions to the sky. There is, and again, I believe it's supposed to be the first. It's like the beginning of Legend of Zelda, right? They start in the sky.
It's the big Skyward Sword is the earliest timeline, I believe.
Right. I think it is. I have the encyclopedia over there, but I believe it is the earliest in the timeline. And if you got to think about this, right? If the calamity came over, they're not able to stop it. You got to go back in time to stop it, right? And you see the hair is different, right? That's they don't show you the face
and the arm.
The
mechanical arm.
Yeah, the mechanical arm, which looks to be like maybe it got infected to some degree, and they put like old ancient technology on it. Because you look at the first trailer, it's like that calamity, and then the second one, it's like this blue glow over his arm. I think they're hiding the face for a reason, obviously, and I don't think it has anything to do with turning him into a female. Which I love that's consistently comes up as if it's some kind of feature.
I don't think it'll be like that. It'll be there's got to be a reason for it. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, it looks beautiful.
If they're hiding the face, it means it gives something away with the story.
With time travel, how old Link
he could be older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be so cool. And honestly, they haven't done that since Ocarina of Time, which is maybe the best story for a Zelda game that we've had. And that, so, okay, I did want to mention that. The fact that this is delayed severely, that tells me that is what's delaying this, is they were going all out with the story in this one. That's what I would think. Like that whole trailer is like, the enemies are the same from what we've seen so far, right? They didn't build a new engine. The graphics aren't like, I'm sure they're still going to be better, but they're not immensely pushed forward, right? It has to be story based. Is the biggest criticism they had.
It could be. I mean, they also may not be reusing any of the map. They got to rebuild the map, and if they're going vertical on this one, I mean, that's a lot of world design they got to do. Plus, with COVID, I mean, they may not be used to working remote like a lot of studios aren't.
Do you think they're going to do more than just going to the sky, like sky and water?
I don't think they'll go water, but I think it's going to be sky is going to be the theme of this, and it's probably not easy to do.
No.
Especially with draw distance and things like that.
That's going to be trickery.
I think the game
will be seamless.
I think the game will be content complete in the next few months, and they're going to spend the next year trying to get it to work. Yes,
I agree. fill out the world. I mean, look, Breath of the Wild is an incredible sandbox. Like it's a math. It has affected how many games since it's been out? Like an endless amount of games. So you figure whatever they're doing now is probably going to be pretty revolutionary again. They're very good at it. And this element from going from the sky to the ground. You think they'll redesign the map? You think they're not going to do?
Yeah.
They have to some degree, right? They're showing that there's a change, like something happened again, right?
I think we'll see a new map, completely new map.
Yeah, and I think the time travel element will allow them to do whatever they want.
Yeah, or it's time's fractured in some way in certain parts of the map, or in one time period, others in the other, and it's all broken apart. I mean, there's a lot of things they could do. If they were going to reuse the map, this game would be out by now.
Yeah.
If they were just going to do a Link to the Past or something like that, where it's like a dark side, it's a dark map.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
When do you think we'll hear more about it? Because they're going to be quiet about this game
next year. Yeah.
You don't think they'll show anything like?
I don't think we see this game. No, I don't think we see this game again until next year.
I think the next time we're going to see it is we're going to get a very nice showing of it with gameplay, the whole shebang. It'll probably be after the new year, probably a couple months, 2-3 months. And like they might, if they can get it out in 2022, which I think is what Nintendo probably wants, and get it out with the Switch Pro, like we were saying, I think that's their biggest. That's probably what they like. I could see them delaying the Switch Pro for Zelda, or to some degree. Otherwise, they have to package it with a different game. Yeah,
this can't come out at the end of 2022 and still be for the original Switch. That console's too old.
Right.
They need to replace that console.
And like I said, I've said this over and over again. I mean, I'm buying a Switch Pro regardless if Zelda comes out with it or not. Like I just want it. I just want a higher fidelity machine.
Yeah.
But it would be a very impressive thing to release this game, because it's hard to remember this, but the original Breath of the Wild was designed for the Wii U, which was kind of a POS from a power standpoint. I mean, from an everything standpoint. I mean, I still have one. It's a Fisher Price toy. Like, essentially, I mean, in comparison to what we're dealing with today, especially, it's ugly, it's bulky, it's slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of sucks because we don't have that much information on it. I feel like this trailer is like kind of the same thing as the last trailer, almost.
Yeah, they were very particular about what they showed.
I think
Nintendo is.
Yeah. Anything about it get you most excited?
No, I mean, I loved Breath of the Wild. I played through it. I played through it almost a second time. But I don't know I necessarily needed a sequel to it. I would have loved to see something new, but I mean, it looks beautiful. Looks like more Zelda. I'm hoping for more interesting shrines, or maybe more elaborate shrines.
Well, they're gonna.
Yeah, they got kind of. I don't know if they got repetitive, but
they did.
By the end of it, I was dropping. I'd be like, I know exactly what I need to do.
Yeah, and a lot of them became really. I mean, they were interesting, but there was something very much missed with having dungeons. Like, I enjoyed it, dungeons. I still love them. I think we will be getting that in this. Maybe that'll be the sky stuff. That each part of the sky will be a dungeon type of thing, and that's how they can kind of work with that double world, because it's going to be humongous.
It's tough to design dungeons like that when you can climb everywhere.
Yes,
and there's no restrictions, so they kind of put themselves into a corner by taking themselves out of the corner.
If you look at the sky design, right, it is isolated little islands. So all of a sudden now you can start getting probably a little more creative with how you can design them. You can go inside of them, probably. Maybe you get locked inside of them, because there's no more tablet. Right, so if you notice,
his arm is the tablet.
Yeah. Exactly, and that tablet came from being a Wii U design. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there.
That's a good one. That's good to take inspiration from, is the Wii U.
Well, they had the second screen dynamic initially, which again is such a waste of real estate when the only thing you have is your inventory in front of you. It's just not worth it. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say about Breath of the Wild 2? I think we're still waiting on info, so it's like,
yeah, we can talk about it in 2023.
Yeah, I am so hoping we don't have to wait till 2023. Yeah, like, I'm 34 years old.
It'll be out. Yeah,
I like, you have a child. Your child will be talking by the time this game comes out. You need peace and quiet.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This is the Legend of Zelda, I guess, adaptation of Dynasty Warriors. I did
Mhm.
play the initial one that came out a while back. I did not like it, so I ended
Yeah.
up skipping Age of Calamity. But
Okay.
they are releasing DLC for this. Does this interest you at all, Ben?
So yeah, I mean, these Muso games have not really been my thing, but it
Yeah,
does look interesting, and
it
I
looks
think
better.
it does look better. Hopefully, it runs better than these used to run. Uh, when the Switch was new, there was the Hyrule Warriors. There's another one that I forget which franchise it was.
Dynasty Warriors, you mean?
No, there was Hyrule Warriors, and then there was another one, another type of these games in this
Dynasty
on the
Warriors.
Switch.
Oh, on the
Uh,
Switch. Sorry,
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so I mean, they don't really interest me, but I do like that they're going back to this time period and this style. It looks good.
It looks exactly like Breath of the Wild. Like conceptually, it's honestly like when I was a kid, I used to want these big battles in Zelda. Like I wanted
Hmm.
the story that they would always reference, right? But when I
Yeah,
see it, and it's just this large hack and slash where you can just button mash your way through enemies. Boy, does that do nothing for me.
and I guess
Especially like, go
the
ahead.
conceit of the game makes sense because it is in the past. So I mean, there would be more there would be more population around, and
Yeah,
there was obviously a war and
yeah,
something had decimated the population. So it makes sense why there's 10 billion bad guys in this and
yeah,
only like one at a time in the old one in the new one.
yeah. I like where their heart's at, but I don't understand the adaptation to make it this kind of game. But they must be selling well enough that they're making more of them. Um, I just
Fire Emblem. It was a Fire Emblem game.
oh right.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's you're good. But I would just love to see like I'd love to see them kind of change up the model. I know it's not their thing, but like even like the way the Assassin's Creed does their large scale battles. You know what I mean? There's some thought process in there. You know, the fighting is a little more tedious. Like maybe add some RPG elements in there. Like that's the game that I would actually be more excited. It's funny, like I'm making fun of Ubisoft, but if they could adapt something like that into this mechanic, that would draw me in. For now,
I mean,
maybe
that's
I
the
get
style of
bored.
game, though. That's what
That's
Quartet. I mean, that's what
that's what
these
they
Muso
make.
games
Yeah.
are. And I mean, for better or worse, that's what you get.
Yeah. I mean, I tried Dynasty Warriors back in the day too, and also did not do it for me. So moving on from that one. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, it looks
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
At least to me,
I love Zelda. I love everything Zelda, but this just did not draw me in. All right. So next, we're talking about Skyward Sword. Just a reminder that it comes out July 16th. And again, I just kind of like what I was saying before. There's obviously this was a planned remaster that has to do with reigniting that old story that obviously will be leveraged in Breath of the Wild. I mean, I think that's kind of obvious. The direct reference of dropping from the sky. If you never played Skyward Sword, it's a big like there's the hub in the sky, and then you kind of drop down to the lands below. We're seeing some of that in Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I'm not gonna lie. After seeing Breath of the Wild 2, this is effective. I am more excited to replay this game and jump back in. I'll be picking it up on the 16th when I go to Israel. I'll be playing this game. But I'll be curious to see if I end up dropping it to play Breath of the Wild because it's just a better engine.
yeah.
But we'll see. It's a very drawn out game, which is the problem with Skyward Sword.
I never actually played it.
Oh,
I mean, I might give it a try this time. We'll see how my time is, but
I'll be honest with you, it's absolutely worth playing. It's a very interesting story. It's really fun. The flying elements are cool because you get to fly a bird in this one. But I have some suspicion that it's going to feel dated. Where a game like Wind Waker, I feel like it just is more of a timeless design than these isolated areas. So it's kind of should be interesting, but I'm excited to get my hands on it regardless. I mean, I buy majority of Zelda stuff regardless. All right. Anything else?
no, not for that.
Good on that one. All right. I just want to reference this, and I honestly do not care about it much. But Legend of Zelda Game and Watch, collection of 3 games. It's Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, and Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening will all be available on this little plastic thing. It seems just like a moneymaker move to me. If I buy one, it's so I can resell it on eBay at four or
don't be like
five times. Yeah, 4 or 5 times. No, I wouldn't do it now. It's one of those things that I hold on as a collectible. I have a bunch of collection of Zelda stuff that I plan to all sell in the future, like my Wii U that is still in the box and all Zelda featured and all that. Just can't play those games anywhere else, so I feel stupid selling it right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that seems fun. I'm sure they're sold out already. Good luck finding one, and I'm sure they won't make more of them. So
No, why would they?
no, because again, they love that secondhand market. All right, moving on from that because I don't think either one of us really care. Though I will say, you can play these games on your Switch. So, and you can play the Link's Awakening remaster, which is really good. So I recommend that. All right, let's get into Metroid because this is interesting. Let's talk about Metroid Prime. I have Metroid Prime 4 listed here, but that was rumored to maybe come out, and to be shown. We saw nothing of it, but
yeah,
they did reference that they are working on it.
yeah, I'm sure. It
Yeah,
better be.
Well, didn't they delay it a while ago because didn't they have
they
to scrap
basically
the
started
initial?
it over. Yeah.
Yeah, which
They
I'm sure.
they announced this game, they show a logo, and then like 2 years later they decide they say they're hiring a creative director. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't happy with it. Well, I guess what happened with Star Fox back in the day, they don't want to ever see that happen again because that set back Star Fox considerably. But it's not the first time they screwed up Star Fox. That was the second time. They had a launch title for GameCube, which I played and enjoyed because I was a kid, but that was not a great Star Fox game. If you remember that one.
Nah.
It was an adventure game.
You could run around.
Yeah, there was almost like no flying elements in the game. So they're very careful with their properties. So if they're delaying it, it's probably for good reason. But let's be honest, it's probably going to be a Switch Pro title.
I mean, I can't believe the Metroid Prime trilogy wasn't shown off. That's been common knowledge that is done and ready to go. But
they're holding back, man. They're holding back for a reason. They did show off a good amount of games, but
for sure, it was a great showing.
But you think that Metroid fans have been kind of abused? They don't sell. They're not a console seller, though. I mean, maybe Metroid Prime will be.
Metroid Prime might be.
Yeah,
we're gonna see what we're looking. I mean, we haven't seen it.
Well, let's move on to I would say this is actually a good showing for them, and I think maybe in their mind they're like, all right, we'll give this to them for now.
Metroid Dread. Yeah, I mean that's on the screen right now. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, Metroid Prime Dread, October 8th, 2021. So coming out soon. So they did it right. Show it off. Give people a reasonable release date to get excited about. 2D, obviously, looks very stylish. 3D, art design, but 2D perspective. I've never really played the Metroid games, to be honest with you. This might be one that I try. I'm not a huge Metroidvania guy, but I do like the games. What do you think, Ben? Is this something you're gonna pick up day one?
I'm gonna play this game. It reminds. I mean, obviously, it's a sequel to Metroid Fusion, but it looks like a modernized version of that. And the Metroid Dread. I mean, this title's been thrown around for the last 15 years. They've been talking about making this game, and I don't know how they kept this a secret for the most part. But if you're seeing on the screen, there seems it's a little more advanced than just a Metroid game. There's some physics at play and destructible environments and manipulating your environment in different ways. I think this could be really good, and it could be better than Prime games in a lot of ways.
I think it'll probably sell really well.
Yeah, if they did the puzzles right and they did the progression and unlocks and the weapons are interesting. Yeah, I think it'll do real well.
I think it'll probably review well and sell well, and it'd be right around the corner for holiday season.
Yeah, it's a great time. And like you said, they did it right. That it's coming out in October, 4 months away, 3.5 months at this point. Yep. And you don't have long to wait. It's the Fallout thing. You don't need to show anything else. It's coming. That's it.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, I agree. It's the right way to do it because it shows that, just confidence in the development of it too. You don't have to be like, because people speculate as soon as there's a delay. It's like, look what we're talking about with Metroid Prime right now. All we're talking about is, it's delayed. Why aren't they showing us anything? That's not the buzz you want. Right.
No, they showed this. It's coming out. It's clearly done. They're just polishing it, and they wouldn't date it like this if they didn't know it was going to hit.
And this is a $60 price game, which I think I don't think will be a problem for it, right?
No,
But this is the first 2D Metroid game that is a full price game at this point in the modern era.
I think it's more than worth that price just based on the little I saw.
Okay. I think
These
it'll
games are long. These games are real long.
I think it'll sell, but I mean, if it sells 1 million copies, wouldn't that be a success already just for a
I,
Metroid title?
if for a Metroid title, maybe I don't think that they would consider it a success at 1 million.
Well, not for like a Metroid Prime. Because Metroid Prime will be a first-person shooter, right? Like that's really
that's
the
Prime.
idea. That is huge for them. And if they can get that out and they get it, they have Splatoon, but if they can get that out and then have like the online competitive shooting element of it too, I mean,
Yes,
you're
that's what
talking
Nintendo
about
does well. It's online.
Yeah, they kill it at that. But they are very good at multiplayer, so that's probably why it's taken so long, Ben.
And speaking of multiplayer, next up we got
Mario Party Superstars.
Mhm.
So new Mario Party. I honestly didn't look into this. Well, I'm not huge into Mario Party. I used to play back in the day, and an ex-girlfriend actually was obsessed with it, so she would have me play with her. I stink at it for the most part, especially compared to people who normally play it. But I'm sure it will sell well because it makes a lot of sense with the Switch. You can take it to people's houses. You have the Joy-Con, single controller interaction style. I would not be surprised if this sells gangbusters for the holidays. Do we have a release date on it? I forgot to look that up.
Yeah, it's June, I believe. I'll take a look here real quick. October 29th.
Yep. So realistically, it's going to sell well during the holidays. I can see this being a very big seller for family. It doesn't even have to be reviewed at anything above an 8 really to sell well, in my opinion. I think it'll just sell on the merit that it is a Mario Party game, and that it's all ages and that people know the name, and I expect it to sell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of perturbed that they're releasing this and not just adding DLC to the Mario Party game that they have not been supporting on the Switch.
Well, why do you think that is?
Because it's $60.
No, well, but it has to be another. You don't think it's a technical element, or you think it's just all money?
They it's all money. They released a patch to Mario Party a few months ago, maybe a month ago, that finally added online play. And added, there was no online play before this, FYI.
I didn't know that.
For the last year and a half that game's been out, no online play. They added a couple minor things, but like no additional games, no additional characters. They added a couple maps, but for a year and a half, when did Mario Party come out for Switch? Let me see here.
It's interesting because
Switch.
They've done a great job with the DLC with like Smash Brothers.
October 5th, 2018 is when this game came out. And no characters, no mini games for 2 years. And now you're releasing a $60 game that's advertising as online play, all these past games.
Was the last one a port? Was the last one a port from the Wii U? So it's brand new, also from the ground up. Game. Yeah, it's strange. I agree with you. That must be just money. They want to make money. Like you said,
they could have added these as DLC, just like they do for.
They could have charged
Smash
$20.
Brothers.
Yeah, they could have charged $30 for a DLC package.
Yeah, expansion pack. Get the new games. Get the new maps.
Charge $5 for each character, like they do with Smash.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. And if you release it as a $25 or a $30 add-on, then you can get the Mario Party purchase plus the DLC. So new players would even spend even more money than $60. But they're making the people who invested in their game buy it again, basically.
Yeah, that's a great point. I wonder what they'll end up doing with the older game, because they probably won't support it at all anymore, right?
They barely supported it before.
That's what I'm saying. So they're probably just going to abandon it, and then hopefully the model for this one will be improved. But I'm not shocked that Mario Party is a disappointment. To some degree, like that they didn't support it well. I feel like every time I hear about Mario Party, it just falls short. Ever since I've ever heard of it, ever since I've been playing it back in the day. And that's why I don't know. For me, it's like they're all the same to me personally. Yeah.
Yeah. I've played it a long time ago, but not no the Jackbox Party Pack games are the new version of Mario Party in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Play them over Zoom with your buddies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on from Mario Party. So you're probably not buying that one though.
No, it can burn in hell.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But Nintendo is good at the money grubbing thing. They are
Yeah.
good at that. All right, let's talk about something that I think you're really excited about. And this is one I didn't play back in the day, but this reboot actually, that might get my attention a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It does look up my alley. Advance Wars reboot, dated 12/3/2021. So again, for the holiday, this would be Advance Wars 1 and 2, right? If I remember correctly. Both rebooted, both remastered. They look really pretty on the Switch. The art style obviously fits perfectly for a reboot. And turn-based strategy or with RPG elements. Looks fun. Looks good. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I love Advance Wars. I'm not really a tactics style game player, but Advance Wars hooked me for whatever reason back on the DS, and that looks like they did a perfect job with the remasters. It's basically what everyone wanted. Was just this. And
$60.
It'll be a full priced game.
Yeah.
It comes with
two games.
The two games, the 1 and 2. I don't really remember the storyline to them, but I'm sure it's like Japanese campy stuff. But the gameplay is where it's at, and you spawn your characters, you move them around this grid. They have a certain number of movement points and attacks, and you see this kind of stuff a lot. But Advance Wars made it simple, and it was quirky. It was fun. You have power ups, characters with bonuses that can change the battle, and very excited for it. I'm definitely going to be picking this up.
Good mobile type of experience as well.
Great mobile experience. I mean, you play one map, you're good. Yeah, there was another point I wanted to make. It's escaping me right now, but very, very. This is probably the biggest surprise of the conference, and this made me audibly go, "Holy shit! They're actually doing it." I mean, so this is so long overdue. No Advance Wars and 2 generations of consoles, and there was some other games. Tiny Metal is one that was basically Advance Wars, and that these people created on the Switch. It was an all but name Advance Wars. So Sony or Nintendo probably saw that, and I was like, we should be getting that money.
Yeah, and they're very good at reboots. They love reselling games that they've already sold you.
Yeah, and if this sells, you will see an Advance Wars 3.
It will sell. Let's be honest, because people they waited so long in between.
Mm-hmm. It's probably similar to like when Sony remastered Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
It sold well, and then they got a 4.
Yep. So, and it's not that expensive to reboot these games, right? Because they're not going to restructure it.
The game looks identical to how I'm sorry, it looks to play identical. It's just different graphics, different. Yeah. I mean, they
saves time on development.
Yeah, they put new textures on top of everything. That's it.
Yep. And that's a great way to release a game. And I think, to be honest with you, though, when a game skips a couple generations and it really, kind of like we were doing with Mass Effect, and there's been this large time in between, I think it's quite appropriate to do what they're doing. Like, I don't think that a $60 value for those 2 games is a ripoff. I'm like, it's been a while. It's not available on this console. It'll probably, and again, we know Switch Pro is coming to some degree. It'll probably be playable in Switch Pro as well. So you're probably not going to have to buy it again. It'll probably be cartridges or the obviously digital, whichever way you're buying it. So it makes a lot of sense. All right, let's move on to, actually, you want to say anything else about it? Or are you good?
No, buy it. Everyone buy it so we get another Advance Wars.
There you go. All right, next game, WarioWare Get It Together. This is actually, I used to really enjoy WarioWare's games. They're really funny. They're quirky. It's kind of like it's more of a game that I'd be interested in than like Mario Party. I don't have too much to say about this outside of like just wait and see mode, but I imagine people who like WarioWare will play it. And it's just, again, it's like get inside this crazy man's mind type of thing. and play weird games.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. It looks interesting. I know WarioWare is beloved by a lot of people, not by me, but I understand why people do.
Yeah,
So I won't talk too much shit about it. But
I
yeah,
like.
it looks exactly what people want.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the old ones back in the day, but I feel like with the amount of options that there are to play nowadays, you have to be into this type of game to buy it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but people are, and I mean, it's there. It'll be there.
Okay.
I think this is a good surprise.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about the end of Nintendo here. Just a couple ports coming over. One, I mean, I'd say they're both very big. There's other ones that were listed, but I took them off the list because I don't care about them. Tony Hawk Pro Skaters coming 1 and 2 to the Switch, and then more importantly, I would argue Doom Eternal. I'm sure Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 will sell very well on the Switch, to be honest with you. I think it's a smart move. But I think
it's
Doom
a very
Eternal,
smart move.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a bigger move than Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal's already out for the Switch, by the way.
Oh, it's out already?
This is the DLC.
The DLC I meant. Yeah, the DLC is coming out. The Ancient Gods DLC is coming out as well. I do agree with you. The making Tony Hawk available 1 and 2 on the Switch. I mean, how many people are going to go out and just buy that just for the sheer fact that they haven't played it for a while? Switch is the nostalgia machine for sure.
And it's a great remake, 1 and 2.
Yes.
I remember playing back in the day. I'm not going to go out and buy it because it's not my kind of game anymore, but it certainly was.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal. It's on the screen right now, and this is Switch footage that you're looking at, which I know is crazy that they managed to get this game to run on Switch and look this good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I don't know how they did it. I don't understand. I've played the Doom 2016 remake on the Switch, and it runs. It's exactly as I promised it. It works perfectly.
That's amazing.
I don't know how they did this. It's got to be the id 5 engine or id 4. I forget which one. It looks beautiful, and I'm sure this. Hopefully, this continues to sell, and they continue to support it. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens now that Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, because they do have a cozy relationship. But
yes. Well, with the amount of Switches that have been sold, though, like why would Microsoft want to leave that money on the table? Because they collect, them, they're making money.
Yeah, it's the same as what they did with Minecraft. I mean, they pull Minecraft off everything.
Right. I think this is like what I was saying about Population 1. Once you have the game out there already, you don't pull it, right? You don't pull it. But if you're making something net new, like we were talking about, like you said, the next Skyrim or Oblivion game, it will not be available on the other. If at the most, it'll be a time exclusive and you'll get it like 3 years later on the other consoles. But that'll be exclusive to Xbox for a reason.
So if there's another Doom, you don't think they put it on Switch with the way Microsoft and Nintendo have been in bed together for a while?
I think they would, but I think they'll probably do it 12 months at least until after it comes out. Like, I don't think it would be day one.
Mm-hmm.
Like first, they'll want to get the X Pass people, right, to buy at least 1 month, right? Like I said, all they have to do is get you to commit to 1 month, maybe 2, and then it becomes habitual. And then they go, oh, well, now it's available on mobile too, because that's not really their competition yet, right? That's how I see it. I could definitely be wrong. I've been wrong about a bunch of this stuff, but
that's true. You're almost never right.
Almost never right. Not about this stuff. Only hockey. That's the stuff I can predict. Everything else, I'm shit at predicting. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I do agree they have a much better relationship with Nintendo than Sony. Like, Sony is their direct competitor at this point, and Nintendo is kind of like their like little buddy who's like, yeah, we'll work with you every now and then.
Yeah.
But I do think it's Sony's fault. Like, Sony is like the bitchy ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? That he's like, yo, like, we're cool being friends, and she's like, no. Like, I can't watch you have sex with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what I was going to say. Nailed that metaphor.
Oh my God, yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Square Enix and then let's do a quick what we're playing.
Yeah.
So Square Enix, Ben, I actually started replaying Final Fantasy VII, but it apparently coming to PC, which would be great.
It would be. We'll see if it actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there was. Sorry, my dogs are going a little nuts right now. They in the back end of the Epic Game Store, there's some data suggesting that Final Fantasy VII Remake and an Alan Wake remake are going to be launching on the store soon. They both popped up around the same time, and I don't have a source. I'm sorry for where this information came from, but from what I read, it's pretty much happening. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will buy the hell out of both of those things:
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII and the Alan Wake remake or remaster.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Wake could use a remaster because it's pretty dated, but it's got it's story driven, so you can definitely push that game with new beauty involved.
Yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy VII has always been rumored to be coming to PC, and it seems like the exclusivity kept getting extended. It was only supposed to be a year, I think.
Probably because of the new DLC and the the remaster.
Yeah,
and that'll probably be the version they push to PC.
Yeah, when that comes out, hopefully soon. I mean, it's probably gonna be an Epic exclusive. It's just fine. I don't have as big a problem with Epic Game Store as most people do. Yeah, I'll buy the hell out of it.
I don't have a problem with Epic because they've given me an insane amount of free games.
No, it's costing them a lot of money, but they keep doing it.
Yeah, well, that Fortnite money. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm honestly, if they release it with new features for PC, Final Fantasy VII, I would consider playing it again on PC. It was that good. I haven't gotten the Yuffie DLC. I'll probably buy that after I'm done replaying through the game. Annoying that it costs $20 when it's a 5-hour experience, but whatever. All right, let's move on to Guardians of the Galaxy. Single player.
Yep.
Will not be like the Marvel release that they had with the Avengers game. Yeah, which was all multiplayer, which, again, how you make that decision is just beyond me, considering the appeal of those games. The characters are the story behind them. So that was obviously an epic disaster. This seems interesting. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It was actually my favorite Marvel movie, the first one. I didn't like the second one so much. I can't watch those movies. There's way too many of them. They're oversaturated. But I do like those characters a lot. There's cool element there, maybe some space travel stuff. We'll see. Doesn't necessarily seem like a game that I'm going to buy, but maybe it'll surprise me. Some movie games adaptation, or I guess property adaptations, are home runs. Even ones that don't review that well, like Mad Max, which I actually loved, and I think you love that game as well. Sometimes they can hit a home run, sometimes they won't, right? Well, we saw that with we know that what's it called? Avatar is coming as well. That one probably would be a pretty good game. Shadow of Mordor was awesome. Can they do something like that here? We'll see. I do think the property is a good one to go with. I mean, it's fun, it's quirky, you got a cool team. It could work. What do you think?
Yeah, single player only. I mean, the issue people had with the Avengers was not the gameplay. It was not the story. It was mostly to do with the monetization and all that stuff. And this is a single player only story. The same gameplay as the Avengers.
Which looks good. Decent.
Yeah, and it's solid. And they're clearly very similar characters than you're seeing in the Marvel cinematic universe. Different, but same. So hopefully you get a nice story out of this, and yeah, I'll give it a try. I may wait for the reviews. I'm not going to pre-order it, but they definitely have me interested more than the Avengers did.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't look like a day one purchase to me, but maybe it'll be like when it's on sale. I'll try it out, depending on the reviews.
Are like. Yeah. I'm going to wait before I buy, at least for this one.
There's a lot of these games that are waiting.
But I do believe this could be one of those. Like every once in a while, a game comes around that's genuinely funny. Like laugh out loud funny. There's not many of them, but I believe this could be one of them. If they do it right.
South Park, I thought, was the last game that I played that I was like genuinely laughing the entire time from beginning to end.
And this is another game that comes out this year, October 26th.
Oh, good call.
So they had the engine done, they had the gameplay done. They just had to build the story, and I'm sure they were working on this concurrently with the Avengers. I wonder if this started out as some kind of DLC for the game, and they decided to spin it off into its own game when Avengers did not do well. Yeah,
I mean, that's actually a great point, and they're probably like, we need to abandon this property because it just makes them look bad. All right, let's move on. So just a quick shout out to this. So Final Fantasy fans will be getting the first 6 games. Will be getting a Pixel Remaster collection. It'll be available on Steam and mobile. I'm kind of taking the story from Sacred Symbols a little bit because they were kind of complaining that it's only on PC and mobile and not available on PlayStation or pretty much anywhere else. I do agree with their criticism. I mean, these games are already available on PC. I don't know how many people actually need it. And a lot of them are available on mobile as well. I mean, they're all available on mobile already. I don't know. I don't know what the huge appeal is, to be honest with you. I would say probably best on Switch. But
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't really have an opinion on this.
Yeah, no, it's hard for me to care at this point. There's so many Final Fantasy games. These games have been available through some way or another on PC for a while, so I feel like they kind of missed the mark on this one. Like remastered collection on Switch, I think probably would have been the best home for it, and then PlayStation, obviously. So for whatever reason, maybe it'll come in the future. So Final Fantasy fans, wait for that one. All right. Next one is Babylon's Fall, is a brand new hack and slash action game from Platinum Games developer who worked on Nier Automata. Nier looks cool. I mean, I never played it, but I know it was highly critically acclaimed. You know, I know people love it. It actually does look pretty cool. It does look like a game I would actually try out. These hack and slash games, though, a lot of times I don't know, just doesn't do it for me a lot of times, like kind of button mashing. You know, I like more difficulty in the games. Like even like Jedi Fallen Order, like level of difficulty is good for me. And that's not like the hardest game, but like, you know, that's like how I like it. Like patience with the fighting. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Nier Automata is one of those games that I've heard a ton about and sounds like it's right up my alley. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get to it.
Yeah.
I would love to one day though. And yeah, I have the trailer going for this game. It looks weird, like really weird.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to think of it, but everyone was very excited that this was going to be at the show. And from what I gather, it's very different than how it was at least shown off before or described before. It's just I'm not really sure, but it looks interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up being good. It's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'll wait for reviews on it, and if it sparks other people's interest, it could spark mine, type of thing. But again, Nier Automata did, and it didn't get me to play it. So here we are. I think like it's weird. Like I have certain things where like a Japanese game will grab me. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But the ones that are like super out there, I always seem to have a really hard time connecting with them. Like I was telling you about Final Fantasy VII, it's very westernized. Like very westernized. Like the way the story is written, everything. It's not super Japanese-esque. So the story is just a lot more digestible.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. And we'll just talk about this briefly because I did not play these. And it was just a huge part of their showcase. I think it was like 20, 30-minute showcase of Life is Strange. They're doing a remaster collection, and then the trailer for the new one, Life is Strange True Colors, should be launching on September 10th. This story-based game, I'm sure the game is actually pretty good. I've heard good things about it, but I'll be honest with you, I cannot see myself playing any of these with the sheer amount of games that there are available. I just can't.
It's not my kind of game.
Yeah.
I know it's very highly regarded, and people love these games. Very story heavy, Telltale-esque type of games. Not really for me, but it looks beautiful. I haven't from anybody who's played it, I haven't heard a bad thing about them.
Yeah.
I actually tried to play the first Life is Strange years ago, with she had like time powers or something.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I obviously didn't get past the first chapter, but
I need violence in my games.
I mean, there's some violence, but you know, for the people who are into these kind of games, you're getting more of what you want.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
They're on track. They're doing the style looks great.
Yeah. What was that game back in the day that we both played? The one that like if ends up like the Matrix almost. What the heck is that called? The Indigo Prophecy? Is that it?
I mean, that was a real game.
No, we both play. It was crazy story. Like it escalates. Start off like in an all like you're like a regular dude, and it was all story based. I think it's the guys who made Heavy Rain.
I mean, then Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit.
And I think it was Indigo
Yeah.
Prophecy.
Yeah.
That was the last time I played a game that was like. Well, I did play the Telltale games, and I have a bunch of them actually.
Indigo Prophecies was a great game. Yeah, I know I played that back in the day.
Yeah, it's for Xbox, right?
And PC. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it. I didn't play Fahrenheit, but Indigo Prophecy, that game did get my attention, and I really enjoyed it. But that's the last time I played a game that's like all story, all button, just time.
QTEs. Yeah.
No, you know what? Actually, the Telltale Walking Dead game was fantastic, but I didn't have an app.
Yeah. I only played the first one.
Yeah, same. It was great. I loved it, but afterwards, I was kind of like, all right. Did you play the Borderlands one?
Briefly. It was a great game. Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah.
Just life caught up with me and never finished it.
Yeah.
It's out for everything. Android, iPad, phone. Computer. Oh yeah.
I could see myself actually. I just got the Batman one for free. Amazon was giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I think there's a reason that studio died. They just kept redoing the same thing over and over again. All right.
Let's add a news story on here real quick.
Sure.
I'm going to spring it on you.
Okay.
All right. So here's a report from Video Games Chronicle. This came out a couple days ago, and it's near and dear to my heart, so I thought I'd bring it back.
All right.
EA is reportedly planning to announce a new game based on an established IP at its EA Play Live event next month. So according to journalist Jeff Grubb, who's got all the details, he said in a video that an unannounced EA title he previously discussed will be shown publicly for the first time at the July 22nd EA Play event. He said EA Motive is working on it. It's an established IP revival. He said, I think you'll be happy. We're going to see it if we're not dead first.
Oh, gotcha.
Dead Space, baby.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Dead Space.
Dead Space is coming back.
You
like Dead Space?
Unfortunately, I never got to play it in the end.
Any Dead Space?
But I probably would.
Dude, that
like the odds of me not liking that game are pretty slim.
Dead Space 1 and 2 are some of the best horror action games you're going to play. Dead Space 3 was more action oriented. I loved all three of them.
I think that's what happened to me is that I missed the first one, and then I felt like I was always behind. And I remember I kept telling myself I was going to play it. But
2 and 3 hold up a lot better than 1. But I mean, if they do a 4 or a remake, maybe, all on board. I love Dead Space.
I would imagine that they're doing a 4. Well, actually, they might do a remaster collection, right? Like what they did with Mass Effect.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're doing a new game, though.
Yeah, that because like, do you have to play 1 and 2 to play 3 type of scenario? Yeah. That's why I always fell behind on it.
So an update to the story today. It looks like Gamatsu corroborated the report and verified that the established IP is Dead Space. The Dead Space series, first released in 2008, has not seen a new installment since 2013's Dead Space 3. Visceral Games was closed by EA in 2017. Big mistake. According to Gamatsu, the new Dead Space game will be a reimagining of the series rather than a straight sequel to the existing trilogy.
Oh, interesting. Then that's probably means you won't have to play 1, 2, and 3 to play it.
Correct. They may be making it all into one game, or maybe first person or some other type of.
Oh, I hope they keep it third. Actually, well, it'd be cool. It wasn't an open world type of environment, right? It's like you're on a ship. Right, but was it like Metroidvania-esque where you could kind of backtrack, or was it just like 3 was? So they're probably going to head more into that direction. Maybe build off of what like Tomb Raider does.
3 was heavy action, had like weapon crafting and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so that sounds right up my alley. So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that sounds like a day one purchase for me. If it's if it turns out to be kind of like something to be excited about. Now, EA's been doing better of late, so I don't want to assume that they're going to shit the bed.
I love Dead Space, man. I was so excited.
I remember you were talking to me for a while. Didn't one of them have co-op mode? 3, yeah.
And the cool thing about that co-op mode was part of the game is that you're kind of going crazy. You're being like messed with by this artifact. So what your co-op partner and you would see different things sometimes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like an enemy might appear on your co-op partner screen, and you would just see him shooting in midair.
Oh, that's so
It'd
cool.
be like,
I love that.
what the fuck are you shooting at? And he'd be shooting at nothing. But on his screen, he'd be blasting apart like 6 dudes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So they did stuff like that.
Maybe this is when we should try to play together.
Dude, I'd be down.
Okay. I finally get that headset coming in. Did you see that deal I got, by the way?
I saw that deal.
It was $100 headset I bought for $12.
I know. It's gonna
probably be broken.
From wish.com.
Yeah. No, it's from Amazon Prime, baby.
Okay. Sure.
Hey, they better return it if it's broken. All right. That's actually an awesome news story to throw in there. So I think that's pretty appropriate. Do you want to do quickly what we've been playing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, mine's pretty quick because I haven't.
Okay. Yeah. You want to go first?
Days Gone, still tracking. Love it. I haven't had as much time to put into it as I had the previous 2 weeks, but
yeah.
I really want to see that game through. I installed the Outer Worlds. I'm going to play through that.
I want to play that too.
I haven't started up yet. Sea of Thieves. I know we both installed that and played through the tutorial. We are going to be getting in this week. Hopefully.
So I bought the headset
with your friend.
He's in Vegas, so it might just be the two of us for now.
All right. So we'll get some Sea of Thieves action in. That is all I've been playing, though.
I mean, that's pretty good. I'm excited for you to. I love that you're loving Dave's Gone. It makes me so
great
happy.
Game.
Yeah, for me, I've been addicted to The Last of Us 2. I even put it down because I got to the portion of playing Abby. Even though I don't dislike her actually, and I just kind of took a break and then started playing Final Fantasy VII and put like an hour and a half into it. The game looks so good with the remaster. Just like really looks like a beautiful. It's such a gorgeous fucking game. And Last of Us 2 is obviously an exceptionally beautiful game. And now that like I know the story, it's still so depressing for Last of Us 2. I texted you the other night. Like it is difficult. Like even like spoiler alert, but you kill dogs in it. It's like you're murdering these dogs, and I love dogs.
You murder the dogs, and then
there's a plot element into that too, and it's just
it comes full circle, and you're like, really, like you did that.
Yeah, dude. And now when you play the game and you go through it again, and I'm like, God, it's like I don't want to kill these people. It's like you start thinking that way, which again is the brilliance in the writing.
I mean, I remember. Not to cut you off, sorry, but
go ahead,
at the end of that game, you're doing stuff.
Spoiler alert.
Like I'm not gonna say what, but like
semi-spoiler. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna. Doing stuff is a spoiler. Like I don't want to do this, and I put my controller down at one point. I'm like, can I not? No, they make you do it. So,
which is it's what really hurts the replay value of this game because the game itself is it's exceptional. I mean, the first one is exceptional. Maybe my favorite game of it was my favorite game of the past generation. Even the remaster, like it didn't go anywhere for me. But it's a lot easier to digest. Like the ending is a lot easier to go through. And this one is just like, oh my God, I feel like a horrible person playing it, And they do show that through Ellie. Like you can see her kind of transition and Abby as well, and how they emotionally deal with it. The writing is exceptional. All the shit that it got before it came out, it was not warranted. There are things wrong with the game. It's not a perfect game, but it's an exceptional game. It's just emotionally draining. That is my only problem with it, is that it's emotionally draining. And I'd love if they do take another crack at this. And it makes me want to play the online factions that they're coming out with because I love the gameplay. And maybe that'll be a big game for us to play. But it makes me want the third one to ease up a little bit, or just give me a brand new story where I don't have to take the impact of, because I loved a lot of these characters. It's really hard to do the things you're asked to do in this game, and it's so real and so grounded. And this is not a spoiler alert, but there are dogs that again, like I was saying, like there are dogs that you have to kill, throughout the game, and it's like I never want to kill a single dog in that game. And I have to bite my face off, but I still don't want to do it because it sounds and acts like a real dog. And even and I brought this up, and I know it's all about equality and all that stuff, but there's a lot of female enemies in this game. And you're grabbing women by the throat and you're just jabbing. And I have a hard time with it. Like men, I can kind of get past. You get angry at men, you want to punch them in the face. I've never thought, oh, let me hurt this woman that I'm angry at. So it gets hard. Like even with animals, like it gets hard to do it in this game, but it's absolutely exceptional, and I probably will continue to play it. Final Fantasy VII Remake is amazing so far. I didn't get to the DLC. I'll probably get to that down the line. We also did play Ghost Recon together.
Yeah, we played for a little bit, but it was a fun time.
Yeah, it's a good. I can't see myself playing that game fully.
Oh, I like it a lot more than you do.
Well, I like it, but like I said, I feel like it. I just like these open worlds that Ubisoft makes. It's like go everywhere and do everything, and here's all this stuff. And like I really like the games that kind of bring you in slowly, like trickle in what is available to you. And I just like it better that way. And I feel like Ubisoft doesn't do that. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm really excited. I hope that comes to PC because I don't think you'll get a PlayStation for it, but you will love that game. I almost have no doubt that you will. I knew you would like Days Gone. I called that out immediately. I was like, dude, I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I'm just I'm a violent person. That's fine. All right. What are we up to?
Let's call it a night. We're almost at midnight.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Under 2 hours. No.
We did under 2 hours?
Game recommendation? Let's drop our game recommendations.
We're at 2 hours, man.
All right. My game recommendation. Quantum
game
Break.
recommendation. Yeah.
Mine's Quantum Break. Stick with the Remedy theme. A lot of people shit on that game. It had that TV element mixed with the video game. I thought the gameplay was solid. Mixed with that story.
Is it like Control?
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to
Control's
like,
good.
Yeah, it's Control. You got
Control's
powers,
really good.
And it's also got a TV element. So you've got, I think his name is Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
And like
X-Men
and Iceman, Iceman from X-Men. Like,
yeah.
And they'd have the TV show, and based on what you do in the game is the different scenes in the TV show you see, and then I thought it was way ahead of its time. I think it got a bad rap. I love that game.
It came out at a bad time, if I remember correctly.
Bad time, and it was like a 400 gig download.
Yeah, because of the movies.
Yeah, you can get it for like $5. I really love that game. I just reinstalled it, and if I can find the time in my fucking life, I'll play it again. But
dude, I bought an Xbox back in the day for Tomb Raider, which was a timed exclusive, and I bought Quantum Break, and I never played Quantum Break back then.
Give it a try, man. I think you really like it, man. The gameplay is really solid. Gunplay solid, powers, time powers, and the story, great story. Great time travel story.
I really, it sounds up my alley. I really enjoyed. I didn't finish Control, but I put a good. I found out the ending, unfortunately, through spoilers.
Well, now that you've seen Control, you'll see where that came from.
Okay, because Control is really good.
It's based on like the gameplay. It's an evolution from Control. Alan Wake to Quantum Break to Control.
I own Alan Wake also. All right, well maybe Quantum Break will be a thing. So I wanted to bring this up, Ben. We both love this game. The second one never came out, and I don't know if it'll ever come out, but it doesn't matter because it seems so far away from what the first one really was. But Beyond Good and Evil, I almost guarantee that this game probably still holds up to this degree. And this was this starred a female character. I know a lot of people are looking for games like that nowadays, but she was great, Jade. And that game just had so much style. The writing was so good.
Great combo system.
Yeah,
great melee combat. Yeah.
Yeah, really like fun, like open world, really unique universe that they really could have built out. And it was Michel Ancel, right? It was
and he left Ubisoft,
and he left now, and it's like I don't know what's going to happen to this brand, but from what I saw, it's like why didn't they make another game about her? Like
I mean, she is in the sequel. She is a centerpiece of the sequel, but
make it like a multiplayer thing.
No, it was supposed to be like it's similar to like Star Citizen or like the Bethesda game Starfield, whatever.
Scope creep on that one.
Yeah, they should have just made a sequel.
I don't understand. They had it. The story was good.
I don't think they get the money. I don't think it's sold. So I mean, there's a lot of reasons. But yeah, great game. You're right. And I think it still holds up. You're right.
You know what game needs a reboot, Ben? And I was actually going to write it down.
What?
Second Sight.
Oh, we're going back to Second Sight.
Dude, how much does that game need a reboot? How
Dude,
good was that story?
We can talk and do a segment on Second Sight another night, but that's one of our favorite, like both of our favorite
Dude,
games of all time.
Was that that was PS2 Xbox?
PS2 Xbox. I played it on PC. That was like the best story. That may still be top 3 stories in a game.
One of the best.
Played.
Yeah, one of the best twists in a story. Probably not as good as BioShock, but it's to that level.
I don't know, man, dude. I remember. I don't think there was text
messages
messages back then, but I like instant messaged you in AOL. I'm like, dude,
it was so good.
Yeah.
And it had like the third person combat system with the telekinesis powers.
It was very similar to PsyOps. Second Sight and PsyOps came out around the same time, so they had that third person psych powers. Yeah.
Oh man, that game is so good. They need to it sucks as the brand of that, like the actual title wouldn't sell, but the game itself, if they rebooted it and sold it today with that same dynamic, because so many people didn't play it, it could be a huge hit. I
got Second Sight up on the screen right now.
Oh. I was thinking about it. I was like literally thinking about from that era. That's why I was like Beyond Good and Evil, and then I'm pretty sure Second Sight was like around that same time we were playing both those games.
And all the different powers that he had, and the time periods jumping around, and I forgot about this, but there's when you're interacting with computers in that game, you're actually clicking on things and doing different things. And
it was ahead of its time. That's
way ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time.
This game,
and nobody knows it. Nobody plays it. Never hear it mentioned ever on any podcast.
Well, it's done by, I think who made this game for it? Codemasters. Okay.
What else have they made?
Codemasters.
Anything late?
I don't know if they're still around.
Probably not.
Who
owns that property, actually?
EA, probably.
Yeah. That'd be so funny if that's what they're releasing, Ben. Instead
they do the dirt games, like the Dirt Rally and.
Oh wow. So we're not getting another Second Sight.
No.
It's only $10 on Steam. Guys, if you haven't played this game, if somebody's listening to this, like
it is on Steam, it still runs.
I mean, it says it is.
If it's on Steam, it'll run, yeah.
Yeah. Second Sight is back online, yeah. Wow, that's so weird. Thursday, April 8th, 2021.
Oh, that just got put back up?
How weird is that?
Oh. Dude, I'll buy that.
I'm surprised there's not a sale on it right now. The summer sale is going. Oh, man, dude, this game was so good. Oh, it was THQ Nordic was the publisher, and they're obviously not around.
No, THQ Nordic's back.
Well, THQ is gone, right?
Oh, they bought it. They bought Free Radical. THQ is gone. THQ Nordic is back.
Dude, if we were actually a popular podcast, I would be like, let's get this shit going. Oh man, what a great game! Really a great game. And now you could actually like remaster the controls. You can make the controls better. You can fix everything because it was ahead of its time. They didn't have anything like this. First comment here, April 8th. Yes, it's back. The game is back. Now please bring me Time Splitters or PC.
Time Splitters is coming back.
Yeah, well, asking you shit. Wow, everybody's so excited. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. They're all saying Time Splitters. Yeah, and then this person's complaining about technical issues. Get over it. Man.
All right.
That's a great way to end it. All right, we did over 2 hours again, or just about 2 hours, I guess, with the break and everything. We're really bad at staying under 2 hours. So I guess this is a 2 hour show. This was another good one. Ben, anything else you want to leave people with before we sign off?
No, man, we covered a lot, and hopefully we'll some Sea of Thieves to talk about next week. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll get time in. All right. Everybody who is listening, please like and subscribe. It definitely helps us out. Share it if you can. If you got to the end of this, definitely like and subscribe and share and comment and do whatever you got to do. We're going to keep going with these. We're going to grow it out. You can see we're starting to put stuff on camera, like videos and stuff. We're going to keep doing that. And then eventually we're going to get guests. Surprisingly, I do know some people in the video game industry, so I will be getting them on here. And we'll keep this going. This is incredibly fun. We're essentially just taking our personal conversations to the internet.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you again. Thank you for listening. And remember to always play on, gamers.